Testing. All right, let's get it. Welcome to the No Bull Podcast, or welcome back to the No Bull Podcast. I am your host, Brianna Bull, and I'm bringing you everything basketball. Okay, so I am super excited to announce that we have on the No Bull Podcast channel officially hit 500 subscribers. Oh, wait. Okay, good. I wanted to make sure that my sound sounded good, so it sounds good. Wanted to make sure my sound sounded good. Okay, we sound good. We sound clear. I'm feeling really upbeat, really joyful. I can't believe it. Starting in mid-June, and I'm here a couple months later. Took a break in July, back in August. And now we're in September and we've hit 500 subs, and I'm just like super grateful. Thank you very much, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Okay, so we have, I wouldn't say it's a full docket because we have 3 segments on the screen right now, but these segments are, we're going to dive a little deeper into at least what I'm reading or the thoughts that I've came up with while reading the media surrounding the WNBA. And I was kind of shocked to see this. And I'm pretty sure like the lawyers out there, the politicians, anybody who knows better probably saw this coming a mile away with the US Senate stepping in to what's happening surrounding the Connecticut Suns and the WNBA. And so you probably saw it coming a mile away, and we'll dive deeper into all of that. I'm trying to bring like an educational, informative approach to sorting out through all the laws and nature and things like that, and the impact it's having on the league. And then we are going to talk about the Chicago Sky and Angel Reese. Like, it's literally like a docket of verses today. I got the WNBA versus the U.S. Senate. Then I got Chicago Sky versus Angel Reese. And then I got the Fever versus the playoffs. And I was like, because the first 2 I had it as versus, so I was like, might as well do the third one be a versus too. So that is what we will talk about today. And then we'll also touch base on the games that are happening tonight. A lot of big games, really good games tonight. And I'm like, I'm supposed to go roller skating later, but I'm going to try to sneak in some watch time. But again, I'm really excited. If you haven't already, make sure you like, subscribe. If you're new to the channel, I posted my very first video ever. I usually go live, but I posted my very first video ever, and it was like a breakdown of Russell Westbrook and why he's still unsigned, or at least our thoughts of why and where he could possibly land. So make sure you go check that out. And then, I mean, it's only up from here. Just remember, if you know bull, you know ball. Let's get into it. Okay. First things first, we have. Boom. Okay. WNBA versus the U.S. Senate. And again, I want to kind of set the stage for you a little bit. So if you haven't read into it, or you haven't heard about it, or you want to know more, maybe you're a little confused, whatever the case may be, we're going to break it down. I'm going to slow it down, break it out like classes in session, right? Because you know bull, you know ball. Because it's bigger than just basketball now. It's about money, it's about the law, and it's about power. All 3 things that have, you know how humans get about all 3 of those things, right? So in professional sports, team sales usually happen between owners and potential buyers. Leagues like the WNBA or the NBA, they do have final approval rights. But what's unusual here is the league reportedly is stepping in as a bidder itself. So if you remember a few streams back, I talked about the Connecticut Sun sale and how there was 3 potential buyers. And what one thing I misunderstood, because it's like a lot of moving pieces, but what I didn't know is the 3 places, there's 3 different bidders, right? One is to keep them in Connecticut, another is to move them to Boston, and then another bid was to move them to Houston. Allegedly, the bid to move them to Houston is a WNBA, pretty much advocating for that. Or they're either advocating to keep it in Hartford or they're advocating to move to Houston. Again, I'm still kind of confused at which bid that they're a part of, but we'll get more into that. But unbeknownst to the WNBA, the tribe, because right now a tribe owns the Connecticut Sun. Unbeknownst to WNBA, they had already kind of had like a verbal agreement with another bidder. So, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. So because the league is stepping in as a bidder, so they're stepping in as a person, they originally had the power to approve or decline sales within the league. The WNBA simultaneously steps in as a bidder. So that blurs the line between regulator and competitor. And if the league is both judge and player, the antitrust alarm bells start to ring. And antitrust laws are to keep markets fair. So no single entity should block competition or monopolize an opportunity. Now here's where the Connecticut Suns come in. The Mohegan tribe, who own the team, put the franchise up for sale. Multiple offers came in, including some north of $325 million. And just to refresh your mind, it cost $250 million just to own a franchise or start a franchise in the WNBA. So the reason you see this $325 million is because of relocation fees, like building a new facility, etc. So this came from an interest in a group and team, a New England group in Boston or Hartford. But according to reports, the WNBA itself dropped a competing $250 offer, likely tied to the relocating franchise with Houston, floated as a possible destination. So that immediately sparked pushback. The Connecticut officials started weighing a plan for a minority stake to keep the Sun playing locally. And then Senator Richard Blumenthal, sorry, Richard, if I butchered that one, fired off a letter to the league warning them like about these antitrust laws. If they're blocking higher bids or trying to strong arm the outcome, it could be a violation of these laws, these federal antitrust laws. Translation? The WNBA could find itself under investigation from Congress if they don't step carefully. The WNBA is so controversial this year. Very much controversial. I'm going to slow it down real quick because one more time, just in plain English, real quick. You've got a Native American team tribe selling a team. Private groups are bidding to keep it nearby. The WNBA wants the control, and now the U.S. Senate is waving the legal stick. Again, it's money, politics, and power colliding in basketball. Guys, I just want some. I just like, this is not what they need right now. Even like with the lockout and all this on the horizon. So Kathy Engelbert is going through it, I'm sure. Going through it. I know these past couple months been hell for her. But let me just check the chat real quick after giving that just talking a little bit about this US Senate versus the WNBA. Da da da. Chicago Cheetah in the chat, Tulips in the chat. Man, I appreciate y'all. Thank you. 500 subs. And like I know a lot of it has to do with Tulip, Chicago, Cheetah, and all my other like day ones, Ace Band Coons, who y'all promoted my stuff, told other people, shared my lives. Like literally, like, I can't match that type of love and loyalty besides just continuing to tell you thank you. And hopefully, like, I don't know where this is going to end up, where the Lord wants this to end up, but man, I'm not going to forget y'all. And I hope I can repay it back in some type of capacity. I don't know. One day, man. But again, thank you all so much for tuning in, showing so much love. I appreciate you very, very much. But yeah. I don't see. My thing is, since we got money, we got politics, we got power. I want to emphasize or reiterate that the NBA has a huge influence on the WNBA. If you even look at the expansion in the current teams that are buying in to the WNBA, it's mostly people who have controlling interest in the NBA too. So it's not just up to Kathy, it's up to all the owners that have stakes and all the board, like everybody who has ownership and claim into the WNBA. So like, yeah, we got to hold Kathy accountable just like we hold Adam Silver accountable, but it isn't just her. So, you know, we got to think about that. I feel like I just think there's so much pressure on the WNBA right now. And like, I don't think they anticipated. I think it's like they got what they wanted and now they got it and they don't know what to do with it. They wanted more views, they wanted more investors. They got this power and now they are trying to abuse it. Come on, y'all. Come on. Now you got the US government stepping in. All I know is the Mahogany tribe. I'm so sorry if I said that wrong. All I know is they probably hit somebody up and said, "You better make this work right now. As much as you come to my casino and all the free hotel rooms and the things I've done for you, y'all better step in." It's like a movie. Somebody need to write some movie script right now. Like write a movie script right now. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. The real question is the WNBA protecting its business future by trying to steer this sale, or are they overreaching in a way that could damage its credibility and spark federal heat? I mean, I haven't covered this yet on my channel, but I already know there was talks a month ago, not even, some blog or article dropped about this lawsuit that's going to come in for Caitlyn. I'm like, hold on, this civil suit. I'm like, oh my god, like they don't need this negative energy. The WNBA does not need this negative energy. But if you got a civil lawsuit pending, who knows what that's going to end up turning into with Caitlyn. And then you got this U.S. senator threatening antitrust, setting a threat. It didn't even look like a threat. It looked like a promise. I'm curious what the WNBA is going to look like after playoffs. Because again, playoffs end before the October 31st deadline for the WNBA and the WNBPA, which is the Women's National Basketball Players Association. They declined their CBA contract and they're in the midst of renegotiating. And so far, what the WNBA has been able to produce, the players have not been happy about it. And now you got owners of the league not happy with you because you're trying to block sales or trying to prevent certain markets from expanding. It's insane right now what's going on with the WNBA. And we're gonna all be sitting here watching, seeing it all unfold. Hopefully it doesn't have any impact on the actual basketball, because that's really what's important here. But if I'm a Connecticut fan, I'd want them to stay. I feel like the Connecticut market, people try to like clown that type of market, but that's like a loyal fan base market. You know what I mean? Those are people that even if you were to put it in Boston, the Hartford, Connecticut fans might still take that drive. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's how loyal these types of fans are. But then you got like bigger markets like Houston. I know in the NBA, Texas is lit right now. Lit. Dallas is lit. Houston lit. Spurs are lit. Like, those teams are lit right now. Wemby coming back, KD on the Rockets, and Kyrie, AD, D'Angelo, that whole Clay, that whole team looking kind of spicy. You feel me? Once everybody gets healthy again. But still, so I can understand how Houston is attractive. I can understand how Boston, who just won a championship 2 years ago, is attractive. I understand that. But I'm a Connecticut. I would want them to stay. Yeah. We don't know. We don't know yet. And it's also kind of interesting to me that the WNBA would decline $325 million for a $250 million sale, but I guess they have this long game in mind where they're like, even if it's more money invested into this bid, we want this bid because we want this market. Now, I don't know how quickly this relocation would turn to reallocate, or whatever relocation would turn around. Like, what's the turnaround on that? Because we know there's 2 teams being added next year to make it 15, and then by 2030 there'll be 18. There'll be 18 teams. So I don't know how long, how many years all this would take to build a new facility. That sounds like a couple of years. But yeah, a lot of decisions to be made. A lot of loopholes that they got to jump through, and I'm curious to see what's going to end up happening. And the WNBA got to tread carefully, man. Just gonna check chat real quick, see what your thoughts are. Oh, I guess my main question is the WNBA abusing their power? You cannot be a bidder and a regulator. I don't think you can do that. But my thing is, when it comes to money, power, and politics, people start to move real grimy and nasty. And the WNBA, man, how y'all rate at? All right. So we spent a little bit time on that. Let's go ahead and move on to what I feel like a lot of you clicked on this stream for, which is Miss Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. All right. And I already know how controversial of a player she is. And I know how controversial of the organization it has been. And you pair these two together and you got drama on top of drama on top of drama. And we're going to talk about it. Because people keep throwing people under the bus. People, Angel getting thrown under the bus, Chicago Sky, her teammates Chicago Sky teammates getting thrown under the bus, Vandersloot getting thrown under the bus, Tyler Marsh, like everybody trying to stop on each other instead of they doing anything but being a team, in my opinion. Let's talk about it. So, I want to unpack this situation without falling into the trap of blaming only the Sky or only Reese. I'm here to talk about how ridiculous all of this has been. And as a fan, I'm not stupid enough to fall for the BS that y'all are spitting out to us. These narratives that keep trying to get peddled from all different types of directions. I just want to watch good basketball. And y'all think this BS entertainment is going to keep us in the seats? It's not for me. It's BS. Stop BSing us. Take ownership and accountability for the BS y'all produced this season as a whole. Because at the end of the day, teams win and lose together. Reporters and executives aside. So it's quite distasteful, to say the least. A few headlines dropped this week. I talked about it was it my last stream or the stream before? I don't know. I talked about the Chicago Sky, how Reese called out the Chicago Sky in an interview saying things like, we can't settle for the same stuff we did this year, suggesting she might leave if the organization doesn't deliver great players in the offseason. And that sparked a suspension for the first half of their last game versus the Las Vegas Aces. Apparently, teammates felt betrayed. An executive, so teammates first felt betrayed. Because the article from the Chicago Tribune alleged that she called Courtney old, and Courtney clapped back. I don't think she clapped back, but she ain't specifically called Angel, but she did clap back. Again, catch that stream 2 streams ago, and I talked about that. And then another article dropped, and it said an executive didn't even name who the executive was. So we don't know how accurate this actually is. But an executive within the WNBA said that Angel needs to get the hell out. And everyone's pointing fingers at Angel. She needs to get the hell out. Okay. Then comes Tyler Marsh. So not only, I even skipped this part because Angel not only was suspended for the first half. Here I am thinking she ready to play in the second half. No, apparently she was hurt, and she told them during shoot around that she wasn't feeling the best. Her back was hurting, so for caution, they sat her out the entire game. So she didn't even touch the court on Sunday versus the Aces. All right. And after that game, Tyler Marsh does his damage control. And if you see not even a few streams back, like 2 weeks ago, I talked about how Tyler Marsh, before she even came back from her back injury, I felt like he threw her under the bus earlier, a couple weeks ago, indicating that, like, hey, man, if she's healthy and she wants to go, then we'll play her. To me, he does like little slick things in his post interview that always puts it back on Angel. It'd be like slick underhand things when he was like, why would you say if she's healthy and she wants to come back? Kind of signaling to me or throwing shade to a viewer, like, so even if she's healthy, it still talks whether or not she wants to come back or not. Like, they already were foreshadowing all this drama. Like, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. Anyway, he did damage control mode again recently in that post-game conference for the Las Vegas Aces, announcing that she didn't play in the second half, not for disciplinary reasons, but because of a pre-game back flare-up, saying, quote unquote, she reported it to us and we wanted to be cautious. I mean, that's pretty convenient messaging, shifting the narrative from her words to her health and then deflecting the heat from the team. It just seems like every time an article is dropping or someone's speaking from the Chicago Sky organization, they're subtly pointing the fingers at each other. They're like Spider-Man. The 3 Spider-Mans who are pointing at each other. That's what it's feeling like right now. Here's the real talk. Here's where I'm coming from. Okay? Because I think it was pretty convenient. And I got a lot of backlash from my last streams accusing, and I didn't even accuse her, but I kind of alluded to, or it was like a soft accusation. It wasn't a hard accusation that her back injury, I wasn't saying it's not real. I do believe at some point she was injured, but I feel it pretty convenient that on the day of shoot around, your back started to hurt. I just find it really convenient. And I can't rewrite the past or see the future, but I do wonder if she never got suspended or that article from the Tribune never came out, would she have played? I'm not going to say whether she's hurt or not, but I just find it pretty convenient that we keep seeing the same pattern of players leveraging their injury on players that are on crappy teams doing crappy jobs, leveraging injuries to get the hell up out of there, or to not play or finish the season out. All I know is whether she's hurt, whether she wasn't, it was really convenient and it will forever be a part of her story. Franchises can be run poorly. We can look at their facilities, their draft decisions, their trade decisions, their management changes, the front house. We could look at all that. And then we can look at the players, the stars. They all need to be mindful about the grievances that they air publicly, because everyone gets hurt. I mean, that's what happens. Everyone gets impacted by things like this. And the team loses chemistry, it invites backlash, and the league ends up in headlines for all the wrong reasons. They already dealing with so much stuff. It really was disappointing to see. Really disappointing to see what transpired this past week for the Sky and for Angel. And the fact that we're even separating the two. I saw a lot of the public that are Angel supporters say, well, what's the problem? She said what everybody was thinking. It's a problem that it was said to begin with. Like, it should, like, let us say stuff like that. Like, they shouldn't be saying that about each other. Like, it just shouldn't even be a thing. It should not have even been a thing. And Angel claimed that what she said was misconstrued by the Chicago Tribune. Whatever the case may be. I just feel like she said something and then she was punished for it. And then when it's time for the punishment, it was like it was a weird, silly punishment to suspend her for just half a game. That's really weird. I don't even know how to begin to describe the logic behind that. It was really weird. But it's kind of it's this thing where, like, even when Sophie Cunningham speaks out against the league officials, she got slapped with a fine. Now and I feel like they're trying to regulate the players from talking crap about their own office, like their own organization. You know, like, we all talk crap about the company. We all do. We're human. That's normal. There are women working. Like, at the end of the day, they're employees. They're players, but they're also employees. They're talking big crap about the league, their organizations, and I think they do need to be held accountable. But I feel like to leverage an injury and not even finish out the rest of the game, I can't say Shorty hurt or not. I just feel like it puts me in a lose-lose situation as a fan. I'm just like, bro, I can't, like, just look at the context of her saying she's hurt. I'm not trying to accuse her or anything, but just look at it. Look, I'm looking at everything that's on the table, and I'm like, shaking my head, man. So to me, I think they're all using each other as scapegoats, and nobody's actually taking accountability for what the hell is actually going on. And I think that's frustrating. I think Angels uses the Sky as scapegoats. I feel like Tyler Marsh uses Angel as a scapegoat. I think they just need to all just get, like, part ways from each other. They talking about save Angel from the Sky. Save everybody from what the hell they doing in there. The Sky got to save themselves from themselves. Like, we can't shift the blame on just one person or one player or one coach. It's all of y'all. That's my message to it all. That's what I got to say. Check out the comments, because I've been going on a little roll, man. I've been just... They got my blood boiling. My blood boiling. I love basketball, man. This stuff be crazy. Just reading some of the things y'all saying. I also need some water. My water bottle is all the way over there, though. At the end of the day, I think since Angel has a year left in her contract, I don't really know the ins and outs of it. I didn't look too much into it. She has a year left. I don't know what could happen. Does she have to wait the rest of the year? My thing is, it's been 2 seasons in a row. The Sky have been 2 thumbs down. And we have yet to see a full, complete season from Angel where there isn't all these excuses about why her and her team aren't doing well. So I just would love for this third time's the charm. And then also, is she playing tonight? Let's look into that. Because it's a back-to-back. So they play the Aces again. I want to see her against Asia. Damn. I want to see something. Show me why you the best. Show me why everybody came to watch basketball because of you. I want to see it. Is you going to play tonight? Or when you don't have no suspension, is your back going to start feeling better? Let's look at the injury report. We got to be careful, man, because even in the NBA, in the WNBA, I just feel like, all right, it says on the injury report on ESPN, it says Angel Reese is day-to-day. Reese participated in Tuesday morning shoot-around. Oh, Her back must be doing much better. I hope it doesn't magically. I don't think it's going. I don't know. Maybe when she's warming up, it might start hurting again, but we hope it doesn't. Hopefully, she plays today. I'm glad she's feeling better. There's nobody listed on the Aces injury report except for Nalissa Smith, who's questionable due to a concussion. And honestly, as smart as the Las Vegas Aces are and how great of a coach Becky is, they probably will sit Nalissa, especially against this Sky team. No shade to the team, but come on, you know, they probably want to save Nalissa for playoffs. So it probably would be smart to sit her and just keep her on that concussion watch. But it's just a lot of different things. What behaviors are the WNBA and each organization going to allow from players, and what behaviors are players going to allow from the organization? That's like the main talk right now between these two. I don't even want to call it entities, between one entity and the players, the employees, and everything. It's a lot of moving parts, and I have not been a fan about how the WNBA has handled themselves as a whole. But growing pains. You know, when I started this podcast, there's some things I had audio issues, video, sound, all this. I had a lot of issues. All right. So it is called growing pains. Shoot, the video I posted yesterday took me 3 different tries to post it. So I get the growing pains. I have grace. I'm a reasonable thinker. It's just, we gonna see. We gonna see. Bruce, this is what Bruce said. Angel Reese has played her last game as a Sky player. She apparently she gonna play tonight. We gonna see. We gonna see. She participated in this shoot around. Now, you know what would be really shady is if Tyler Marsh don't even play her. That would be crazy. That would be insane. I mean, I don't know. But we'll see. I see some of y'all are speculating if she were to trade. I guess that is a decent conversation to have. If Angel were to be traded, where would she go? Where would they trade Reese to? Where would they trade her? And then also, who do y'all think is the scapegoat? I mean, I saw a lot of the comments saying Angel Reese is the Sky organization scapegoat. Anybody else think different? Am I baiting? Am I leading right now? Anyway. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the chat. If you haven't already, if you're new to the channel, I'm glad you're here. Please hit that like button if you're feeling the content. Subscribe. I really appreciate you for tapping in, listening, taking the time out, and joining the chat. Talk ball. Let's talk ball. Just remember, if you know bull, you know ball. Okay, so we're gonna move on from this conversation. It was a great conversation. I'm very much looking forward to her playing tonight and seeing how she finishes out this season against Asia Wilson and what that matchup will look like. Can't wait. See Asia. Asia's ready to do some things, man. Doing some things. After, I think, what was it, like 13 weeks in a row, the Minnesota Lynx have been number 1 in the power rankings, and now to finish the final season of the freaking final week of the freaking regular season, Asia Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces are ranked number 1 in the power rankings. To go from like number 8 to number 1, it's gonna be nasty. Number 8 to number 1. Come on. I think they on a 14-game winning streak. You know what would be impressive if Angel played tonight and snapped that game winning streak. Then we really can have a conversation like, damn, we're the end of the season, shorty. Silence the haters. Or, you know, your back gonna start hurting. I don't know. Okay. Let's Let's keep going. Okay, so Fever versus the playoffs. You're probably like, what does that even mean? They're in the playoffs. Yes, they are. But again, it was a part of the verses tonight. Like it's all verses. The NBA is so toxic right now. I mean the WNBA is very toxic right now. Okay. I wanted to break down why, to me, the Indiana Fever are one of the most compelling wild cards of this 2025 WNBA playoffs, and even the whole entire season, if I might say so. This year, like I feel like if I looked up the definition of resilience this year, you would see the Indiana Fever with a picture of like Stephanie White like this, like this, and then like Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, and Natasha Howard like this, right there in the definition dictionary of resilience, because they went through it this year, through the criticism, the injuries, the tough losses. They had highs and lows, and they still managed to do it. So I wanted to highlight some of those highs and lows. Starting off with a high, because we're all about positivity here on this channel. The Indiana Fever dominated the Mystics, winning 94-65, forcing a jaw-dropping 25 turnovers to secure. With this win, they secured their position in 7th seed for the WNBA playoffs. And they finished the regular season 7th place, 3rd overall in the Eastern Conference, I might add. Caitlin Clark sported her Commissioner's Cup championship shirt during that game. So I saw that on the bench. I was like, oh, okay, that's cute to be champions of the Commissioner Cup. Let's see you get it for the WNBA though. Huh? I do want to talk about their season stats right now. According to Google, they're sitting 23-20. Like I said, the record is 23-20, 3rd in the East, 7 overall in the league, with the 3rd best scoring average in the league at 84.9 points per game. And then the 3rd highest field goal percentage with 45.6%. Pretty impressive for a team missing the 2024 Rookie of the Year. You feel what I'm saying? That's pretty impressive. In the middle of the season, the Fever pulled off a statement win, crushing the top seed Minnesota Lynx 74-59 to win their first ever Commissioner Cup, again without their star Caitlin Clark. And even without Caitlin Clark, this team has managed to make it happen. And not just without Caitlin Clark, they had 5 season-ending injuries. And I would say 4 out of those 5 players were crucial, like key parts to this WNBA team, especially offensively, as 3 out of those 5 players were point guards. So they lost, if you haven't already missed, if you missed it, they lost Caitlin to a groin injury, Sydney Carlson to, was it a ACL? I don't remember the specific injury. Ariel McDonald to a foot injury. They lost Chloe Bibby. Did she hurt her ACL or knee? Something lower leg. And then Sophie Cunningham tore her ACL too. So it got real dirty real quick for them. And they've had to sign 2 hardship contracts. And I consider it, so their low was them all those injuries, but a high for them was their 2 hardship contract signs in August with Odyssey Sims and Shea Petty. And I looked up the team's record, like how they've played since these 2 stars joined on the team, and they didn't really miss a beat. I would say that those 2 ladies, from what I've seen, they brought veteran experience, they brought, which is like a steady presence, and they brought spacing with Shea's ability to score on the perimeter. And then that like point guard out of Odyssey kind of just, you could just see the vibe has changed for this. The dynamic of the team has changed. And I also want to add, I think their defense has had a tremendous boost They are so active in the passing lanes. It's insane. Teams are kind of rattled with the ball whenever they're playing up against this Indiana Fever team. And it's been a pleasure to watch. And I think a lot of it has to do with Odyssey and Shea being added onto the team. You could just see the energy of this team has improved since these two ladies joined. Another high, ESPN Power Index gives them about an 88 to 90. They gave them an 88 to 93% probability of making the playoffs, and then they did. But the low that they got is, I guess, the Vegas. You know how Vegas is. They're with the odds and all the betting and stuff. They slashed their WNBA odds, like slashed them from the odds of getting to the finals at plus, is that 10,000? But there are sparks of possibility there. Like I said, I feel like this is the wild card. The Fever is the wild card of the playoffs. If you look at the playoff bracket, and I could pull up the picture real quick of the potential, because right now with the Sparks playing tonight and the Storm playing tonight, it's still a chance that the Sparks can sneak and take that 8th spot. But I want to show you the playoff bracket. I want to show you that because here we go. Look at this. Indiana can end up playing Atlanta. And if I pull up the stat muse while y'all take a little gander at this playoff picture, look at everybody who's listed on the playoffs. Out of everybody, I feel like the Indiana Fever are a wild card. I'm not taking away from the Atlanta Dream and how great they are, but looking at the matchups, and some might argue, oh, it's the Golden State Valkyrie. I don't think they give me the impression of wild card. It's this Indiana Fever team out of everybody that I'm looking at it like, they surprise us time and time again. Against all the odds this season, y'all still managed to make the playoffs and seem to not really, despite all their lineup changes, offensive shifts, defensive shifts, tiers, refs apparently have a bias towards them. Like everything that they face, they really made it this far, and they're still doing amazing things. And 3 of the players made the All-Star team. I mean, it's insane. I'm just looking up the stats for the Indiana Fever, and I'll be doing another, obviously, in the upcoming week or so. I will do a more thorough breakdown of each of the lineups. I mean, each of the teams versus in the playoff picture. But I wanted to just give you a quick little sneak peek of what the Indiana Fever versus the Dream this season is going to look like. Okay, so they played each other 4 different times this year, and they beat the Dream twice, 2 out of those 4 times. But each time they played each other, it was kind of close. The worst loss they took was back in June. They lost 58 to 77. And then the other loss that they had against Atlanta was 90 to 91. Now, the 2 times they played Indiana in May, I think Caitlin was playing. I got to look more into that because she went down in July. The second time. I don't think she played in June either. And she might have played July 11th. I got to look into this. How many games was Caitlin there or not there? But the times they did beat Atlanta, they won 81 to 76. And then the final time last time they played them home, they beat Atlanta 99 to 82. I just feel like that's a wild card game. What do y'all think? And even if the Fever were to go on to advance and beat Atlanta and this is just me speculating on what Las Vegas and Golden State look like. If Las Vegas went on to beat Golden State Valkyrie, man, it's gonna look nasty with Indiana versus the Aces, because there was games this season where they beat the Aces, and then there's games that the Aces beat them, and it was close. Or it was foot on necks. Like, it's like, I just don't know with this team. Let's see what y'all saying. Oh, chat is lit. I just need to take time to read. It got a little quiet. I'm so sorry, y'all. It's hard doing all this, but I'm still enjoying it. I agree. Playoffs about to look real spicy. But do the Fever survive the first round of playoffs? This healthy Atlanta Dream team versus this resilient Indiana Fever team. It's 3 games, and Atlanta has the home court advantage. I don't see it being a sweep at all. At all. If anything, I see it going to 3 games. I really do. I can see it happening. I can see it happening. I can see it happening. Random dude said no. No. Do the Fever survive the first round of playoffs? No. All right, I'm gonna remember you said that, and we're gonna come back to this moment. I'm excited. Now tonight, let's look at the game tonight, because nobody's on the Indiana Fever, and nobody that doesn't have a season in the injury. Everybody who's still playing is not on the injury report. And then they play the Lynx tonight, right? Yeah. I mean, this is going to be, since both teams have clinched, obviously, I feel like I'm excited about this question I'm asking, because if the Indiana Fever, to all of you who said no, if the Indiana Fever beat the Lynx tonight, who lost their power ranking, got tore up by the Aces recently, haven't really been playing that well. Nafisa hasn't been playing that well in the last few games. If they manage to beat the Lynx tonight, are y'all going to change your responses? I feel like Courtney Williams is probably going to be tasked with sticking Kelsey, possibly. And then, okay, on the injury report right now, Dejanay Carrington's still listed out, and Nafisa is listed out. So she's been ruled out for today's game against the Indiana Fever for rest reasons. That's disrespectful. Y'all think that's disrespectful? I mean, it doesn't matter, right? Because they clinched the playoffs, but they decided we're going to sit Nafisa. And also, does Nafisa sitting out tonight hinder her MVP talks? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I did not see that one coming. Did y'all see that one coming? So, Dejanay Carrington is out for a shoulder, which sucks because I think she's a great addition to their team. And then Nafisa Collier is out tonight for rest reasons. What y'all think? Who winning tonight? What y'all think? Oh, snap. I mean, resting fee for tonight, I don't know. I gotta look. Let's look at the rest of the schedule coming up here to see, because I think Minnesota plays one more time. Let's look. We got no. This is it. This is it. The regular season wraps up on Thursday. Oh my gosh. This is it. Mm. So tonight's matchups, we got Washington Mystics versus New York Liberty, the Minnesota Lynx versus Indiana Fever, then the Chicago Skies and the Las Vegas Aces, the Los Angeles Sparks and the Phoenix Mercury play tonight, and then Golden State Valkyries in Seattle. Now those three games tonight that happen at 10, the Chicago Sky versus Aces, Sparks versus Mercury, and Golden State Valkyries versus Seattle Storm. Those all start at 10 o'clock. But I think it's very important, very, very important that we go see these. And I do want to point out the lowest, it says tickets as low as $249 for the Chicago Sky and the Las Vegas Aces game, by the way. The final game in this regular season, home for the Las Vegas Aces. They play again on Thursday. The Chicago Sky play again on Thursday. And so do Phoenix, New York, and Minnesota. So this isn't their final game. So them resting Fee is interesting to me. And will they rest her again on Thursday against Golden State Valkyrie? That's very interesting to me that they chose tonight to rest her. So much happening right now. So many things to think about and consider. I see DK is an avid. Welcome to the chat, DK. You love the Sparks. Nation Alliance said Lynx by 4. A lot of people saying Asia in the chat for MVP. Well, I think tonight's gonna be a really good games all the way around. I don't even see a blowout happening. I think these are all gonna be really close games, to be honest. Hold on, with Chicago. Cheetah said so much happening in that locker room with Chicago Sky. That locker room ready to be crazy tonight, huh? I think the two games I'm most looking forward to is the Chicago Sky versus the Las Vegas Aces. And then I'm really looking forward to the Sparks against Mercury. And then the Seattle Storm versus Golden State Valkyrie, is that the other two? Yeah. I only reason I think I'm gonna choose the other two over that third one. I'll probably tune in when I can, but it's crucial that the Sparks win tonight, because if they don't, they're kicked. I think they're done for if they don't win tonight. But I also think because they play one more time on Thursday. But this is the last game for the Seattle Storm. So if the Storm lose, they could potentially lose their spot to the Sparks if the Sparks win. Does that make sense what I'm telling y'all? Because the Sparks hold the tiebreaker, and the Sparks need to win 2 more games to tie with Seattle Storm. So if the Storm, so even if the Sparks win tonight and the Storm win tonight, it's curtains. It's curtains for the Sparks. I mean, no, it's curtain for Seattle. So, all right, let me rephrase this. If the Sparks win tonight and the Storm win tonight, we have to wait until Thursday when the Sparks play against the Aces. They would have to win that game to kick Seattle Storm out. If they lose tonight, they're cooked. They have to win tonight regardless. Regardless of what happens to the Storm, they got to win tonight. And regardless of what happens to the Storm, they got to win on Thursday. These are the 2 biggest games of the entire season for them. For real. It's win or go home for the Sparks. Win or go home. That's probably going to be my next segment for them. Win or go home. If you haven't already, make sure you drop a like, subscribe. I appreciate y'all's support. All right, so let's just run through these two games. These games tonight, some of their projections, and then what we think could happen tonight, and then we're gonna wrap up today. It was a fun. It's a fun day, short and sweet. Let's take a look, and we're on the road to 600 subscribers. We hit the 500 mark. Let's keep pushing. The goal is to have at least 1,000 subscribers by December. That's my goal, and Lord willing, we get at least close to it. We'll see. Okay, so again tonight we got 5 games on the docket. Let's pull up. Let's see if the NBA, because I know the WNBA website kind of been a little funky. Whereas though you click in, like, look, I can click into this this one game. By the way, the odds are disgusting tonight for the New York Liberty versus Mystics. They got New York Liberty at negative 14.5. Let's check the injury report to see if Sabrina is going to sit this game, which would be smart, in my opinion. Keep sitting her until playoffs start, where they may possibly, most likely, will end up playing Phoenix. And those two teams were battling it out to see who would get the home court advantage. And it looks like the Phoenix Mercury got that home court advantage for their playoff game. New York Liberty injury report. Injury. Oh, I don't even see anybody on anything. Huh. Yeah, there's nobody. They don't have their injury report listed on ESPN. Uh-oh. Will Sabrina make her return tonight? Last time these two teams played each other was last week or 2 weeks ago, August 28th, and the New York Liberty darn near blew the Washington Mystics out 89-63. Washington leads the league in personal fouls drawn per game, so they're good at drawing fouls. And then New York Liberty ranks 3rd in fewest personal fouls committed per game, and they're a pretty fundamentally sound team, and their players have great footwork. Natasha Cloud has, if not one of the best perimeter defenses out there. Let's see if, okay, they have projected starters for tonight, and Sabrina is listed. So we have, for the New York Liberty, and this is a dynamic 5, we have Sabrina, Natasha, Stewie, Leonie, and Jonquel Jones. Love Jonquel. I love her. She's so good. Okay, and then for the Washington Mystics, we have their infamous starting 5 with Sug Sutton, Sonia Citron, Kiki, Alicia, and Shakira Austin. On the WNBA website, they have Sabrina listed as GTD, game time decision. So we'll see. We shall see. Definitely got the Liberty winning this game. I'm gonna tune in so I can see how Sabrina's looking. You know, she's been out with that toe injury. And this is gonna give us maybe an idea of what we can expect going into the playoffs. Moving on. So yeah, I got the Liberty winning this game. That's easy. That's low hanging fruit. Let's go to the next game, which is the Minnesota Lynx versus Indiana Fever. Now, FanDuel has the odds at -2 and +2. Again, we've seen this before. When the FISA doesn't play with this Minnesota Lynx team, they usually have them still as favorites to win, but they make the odds very, very small. When she first went down back in July or in August, when she went down in August, early August, they had them as picked to lose, and the Minnesota Lynx surprised everybody and won a couple games in a row without Nafisa. So, you know, let's see tonight. Let's see if they got those projections. Minnesota allows the fewest opponent free throw attempts per game, while Indiana ranks 2nd in personal fouls drawn per game. So when I said that the refs are biased, I think the refs are terrible overall, but I just find that whistle blows often for an Indiana game. Very often. whether it's for them or it's against them. It's very often. It's like a biased atmosphere. Last time these two teams seen each other was August 24th, 2025, so about 2-something weeks ago, and the Minnesota Lynx beat the Indiana Fever 97-84. They actually beat them the last three out of the they actually beat them the last 3 out of the 2 times they beat them the 2 times they seen them, aside from that Commissioner Cup. They lost to them on the Commissioner Cup. But they beat them in August 22nd, 95-90. So it was like a really close margin. So tonight, with them sitting Nafisa, she hasn't been playing that well. And they don't have Dejanay. And Dejanay actually played when they didn't have Nafisa. So I'm really curious to see how they're going to do without neither one of those people playing tonight. I feel like the Fever could win this game. That's my call. I got the New York Liberty and the Indiana Fever. That's my 2 so far. Let's keep going. And that game is at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time on ESPN or Disney Plus. Okay, we got September 9th, 10 p.m. the Chicago Sky versus the Las Vegas Aces. These odds are nuts. They got the Las Vegas Aces with a -17 odds to win tonight. Though that's nutter balls. I'm sorry. Gosh, that's nuts and bolts. Okay, Chicago leads the league in offensive rebounds per game, while Asia Wilson of the Las Vegas Aces lead the league in points per game. She has 23.6 points average right now. The last time these teams seen each other was on Sunday, and the Las Vegas Aces blew the Chicago Sky out 80-66. For your Angel Reese lovers, she did not play in the entire game. Was that the 20-something point differential they needed? Yes, I'm being shady. Okay. And then they played again. They played each other earlier in late in August, 8/25, and the Las Vegas Aces only beat the Chicago Sky by 5 points. And Angel, was she playing? She was. She was 3 for 10 with 30% shooting from the field goal. She had 10 points and 17 rebounds. 12 of those 17 rebounds were defensive, but 5 of them were offensive. She had 3 turnovers, 3 steals, 4 assists. Let's see how Miss Asia did. She was 7 for 18. She shot 38% from the field. She had 18 points, 9 rebounds, 4 turnovers, 1 steal, and 3 assists. She still got off 18 shots. And just to talk about like Camilla against the Aces, she was 50% last time they played each other. I mean, two times ago. 6 for 12 shooting. She had 19 points, 10 rebounds. She had a double-double too. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game, but I still feel like the Aces are going to win. So, we got the Liberty, Fever, and the Aces winning. Now, let's go to this LA Sparks versus the Phoenix Mercury. The LA Sparks are favorites to lose. That sounded crazy. I'm sorry. They got the Phoenix Mercury with a -7.5 spread. They play at 10 p.m. and you could catch it on the League Pass or NBA TV. Los Angeles Sparks leads the league in points in the paint per game, while Phoenix allows the fewest opponent second chance points per game. So the Sparks lead the league in points per game, and Phoenix allows the fewest opponent second chance points per game. Now, the last time these teams seen each other, they played each other 3 times in the regular season, and the Mercury beat them every single time, but they were very close games. The first time these two teams seen each other was in May 2025. May 21, 2025, and they beat the Sparks 89-86. This was before the Sparks turned into the team that they are now. Want to put that out there. Then in June 1st, they beat them again 85-80. Close game. Now, just recently, in August 26th, they beat the Los Angeles Sparks 92-84. We know the play style of the Phoenix Mercury. They play big. They like to push the tempo. We know they put the guards on the block, and they will transition defense you so fast. Alyssa Thomas push that ball so fast. Let's check the injury report real quick. And we know our beloved Sparks struggle with transition defense. They struggle with on-ball defense. I'd be concerned for them. They got Rickea Jackson. She is probable for tonight's game. Thank goodness. Listen, if I'm Rickea and I'm going through it a little bit, play me. These games are too important. And then Kelsey Plum is on the injury report, and she's listed as questionable for tonight's game. Probable and questionable. Questionable is kind of scary, and it's her foot. I don't know what's going on. Let me take a quick breather. Let me check the chat. I don't know what's going on with Kelsey Plum tonight. Y'all nervous? Y'all nervous? I'm a little nervous. If Kelsey doesn't go tonight, this is my prediction. They're gonna start Cameron Brink and go big. So their starters would be actually. Let's see if they have the projected starters for this game. They don't have them listed yet. My projected starters for the Sparks is gonna be Julie Alleman, Rickea Jackson, Azare, Cameron Brink, and then De'Erica Amby. And I did it actually in order of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got Julie at the 1, Rickea at the 2, Azare at the 3, Cameron at the 4, and De'Erica at the 5. Now for the Phoenix Mercury, I don't see them switching up. I don't see anybody on their injury report. Let me look real quick. Yeah, they don't got nobody on their injury report. On ESPN anyway. Let me see. There's nothing really much to talk about here for the Phoenix Mercury, but I got obviously they got AT starting, Satu Sabali, Natasha Mack, Kayla Cooper, and who's that fifth person? What's her name? Damn, Shorty, I'm sorry. I don't know. I feel bad now. So much to keep up with. Monique Akamakani. She probably gonna start tonight. But usually they start her, but DeWanna Bonner and then Sammy come off the bench. And they play up more minutes than Shorty be playing who start. So starting isn't the end all be all. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah. Just the fact that those two play so much coming off the bench and then they score a lot makes the Phoenix Mercury bench points always look crazy. Because they list out each team's bench points. They bench points combined sometimes be like 30 points off the bench. You'd be like, damn, Phoenix got a crazy good bench. And then you look at the starting minutes and the bench minutes, you be like, oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, right. Gotcha. But still, that's it. They 7 deep. 7, 8 deep. That's not bad. I don't know if Kelsey Plum is the A-all, B-all for this Sparks team, but I haven't seen them play without her since she's gotten traded to the team. I think she was out maybe one game. I literally don't really know what they look like without her. I know for sure Ray Burrell, if she gets more playing time tonight, to me, Ray got better defense than Kelsey. A matter of fact, half the guards in the league got better defense than Kelsey. I got better defense than Kelsey. I'm just saying. Her defense, man, stresses me out. So I know it stresses their coaches out too. But obviously she goes downhill really fast. She finds players. Julie Alleman doesn't go downhill the way Kelsey does. Julie doesn't know how to get into the paint. So if they are without Kelsey Plum, I can anticipate the Sparks team trying to create a lot of their own shots for themselves, as opposed to using that benefit, the added benefit of spreading the court with Azure as big as she is out there. Like, when they don't move the ball around, that's when I start seeing Rakia trying to do everything herself. Cameron Brink sometimes taking questionable shots. I'd be like, and missing. Her misses be bad. When she misses, it's a terrible miss. I'd be like, yikes, shorty. I ain't really. But keep shooting. Keep shooting, Cameron. You know that. Y'all know that's my gazelle, y'all. I'm not hating. But yeah, because Julie, she just always does. She just seems comfortable chilling around the arc. Sometimes she gives me the impression she's lazy AF. I'm just saying. That's all. Sometimes I be like, she just be playing a little lazy. She could get away with it the way Kelsey is. Kelsey will have like a lot of energy on offense. On defense, no. And honestly, the last time she got abused on the block. The mismatch was insane. She kept getting done dirty. For some reason, she found herself guarding Dawana. She found herself guarding Natasha Mack at one point. And they was on the block like, and she was getting called for hella fouls. I was like, Kelsey girl, oh my God. They was abusing her in the block. But that's what they known to do. I definitely, as much as I want this team to win tonight, they're gonna have to have the game of their lives. Game of their entire career. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead. I don't want to go against my dark horse. But and they're playing at the Phoenix Mercury. They're playing away. Oh my gosh, my dark horses. My sweet, sweet dark horses. I don't want to go against them. I'm gonna say my upset of tonight is the Los Angeles Sparks. And this is an emotional choice, okay? I wanna preface that. I'm making an emotional decision right now. I got the Sparks winning. I'm a remain loyal to y'all. Okay, let's move on. We got the final game on the docket tonight is the Golden State Valkyries versus the Seattle Storm. Now, the Golden State Valkyries is having an amazing inaugural season, probably history one for the books, and I'm hoping that Natalie gets her Coach of the Year and Veronica Burton gets Most Improved Player of the Year. We shall see. Golden State Valkyrie leads the league in 3-point field goal attempts per game because they throw that thing up there. They said, we Golden State, we gonna be like Golden State. We gonna shoot everything. And then you got the Seattle allows the second fewest opponent 3-goal attempts per game. And when I watch the Seattle Storm in their defense, don't they switch everything? They be switching everything. From what I remember, they do a lot of switching because with the addition of Brittany Sykes, they all kind of are like, they kind of all, aside from Skylar, they all can kind of play the same different positions. Like, I don't think they switch everything, but I don't think they do the best job hedging screens or going around screens and stuff like that. But I don't know. When I think about the Seattle Storm, I don't think about their defense. I always look at how the teams play defense against them because teams be playing them in zone, and I think that's hilarious. But their defense, what is their issue? To me, their issue, the Seattle Storm, is offense. They stand too much on offense. They stand way too much on offense. It's so frustrating. Anyway, the last time these teams played each other 3 times, And the Golden State Valkyrie managed to beat them 2 out of those 3 times. The first time these teams seen each other was in June. And Golden State won 76-70. And then they played again in June, and Golden State beat them again 84-57, which is way different than that first time they seen each other. And then finally, in July, they haven't played each other in 2 months. The Seattle Storm beat the Golden State Valkyries 67-58. Mind you, this is all before Brittany Sykes got to the team, and we know how much of an offensive presence, ball-dominant guard Brittany is. Also, Dominique Malonga started to emerge as like a breakout freshman star. So I want to take all that, and they had not yet gone into their descent of losses and trouble in the Storm's whole organization yet. So all of this happened before these important chains of events that took off in early to mid-August. Okay, so let's go into and see if they do have the projected starters for tonight for the Golden State Valkyrie. I'm going to read their injury report real quick and check on ESPN as well. So let me hit a refresh because anything could have happened in these last 30 minutes. Okay. All right. Tiffany Hayes has been ruled out. She's expected to miss at least another week. So hopefully Golden State can survive the first round of playoffs because she's out right now with the knee. And then for Cecilia Zandalasini, she has a calf injury and she's questionable for tonight's game. So let's look at, after saying all that, their starters are going to be Kayla Charles, Veronica Burton, Janelle Saloon, Temi, and Ilana Rupert. Or maybe Rupert. Sorry. It's probably Rupert. Maybe Rupert. Okay. Yeah. Let's go to the Storm. Let's see what's happening with the Storm. They don't really got anything. There's nobody with any other than their season-ending injury, folks. There's nobody present on their injury report. So that is a good sign for the Seattle Storm team, who, like I said, this game is, it's important for them. It's important for them, but their future is dependent on how well the Sparks do. So I wouldn't say they have too much pressure, but they still got to show up today because they got to show us why we should still believe in them. How they went from, I think, number 4 overall in the conferences, in the league, to dropping to number 8 and fighting for their lives these past few weeks. Their starting lineup is Brittany Sykes, Skylar Diggins, Gabby Williams, Nneka Ogwumike, and then Ezzy on the beat. What do y'all feel about the Seattle Storm team? How do y'all feel about them? I think Erica Wheeler's still struggling, which is really, really frustrating for me. I say that all the time. What we need to see from the Seattle Storm team tonight is them remaining active on defense. And if they're going to preserve any of their energy on offense, still move without the ball. We need to see that. Scotty boy, welcome to the chat. My thing is, it does suck that it sucks that the Sparks had to fight so hard, because I think the Sparks are a better team than the Storm. But it's really unfortunate the position that they got themselves in, because there's some games a couple weeks ago that they could have won and they lost, and now they have the position that they're in. But it would be amazing to see them win these last 2 games. But it's going, like I said, it's going to be the fight for their lives. They're fighting for their lives right now. And In the Seattle Storm, the fact that they're in this position kind of pisses me off. Now, wait, let's pull back up. Let me pull back up the playoff thing. Here's the thing, though. If they manage to secure this spot, look who they got to face in the first round. They're cooked. So, again, it kind of does frustrate me that if the Sparks don't make it in, they lost, and then we gonna watch the Storm just lose. I want to see how the Storm have played against Minnesota, because the last time they played against it, Cheryl got a tech. Cheryl got up, and Skylar, listen, they was going at it. They was beefing bad, but nobody could stop Skylar. It was scary how Skylar was playing. Nobody could stop Shorty. And I saw another side of Kayla McBride. Shorty, so Skylar yelled at the bench and called them mother effers, and she didn't even get a tech because the refs didn't see it. It was like Dak and Jalen Carter. And Jalen Carter was Cheryl Reeve and the whole bench. And Skylar was Dak. If y'all know what I'm talking about. It was bad. Anyway, it was great matchups across the board, but Nafisa did not have a good game. And Skylar, I don't know what she was on. She was on something. Somebody sparked something with her. What's up, Miss D? Welcome to the chat. Court Vision with Tony. What's up, Tony? Glad to see you, man. I'll be catching your live streams. They're always really fun and something I like doing when I'm doing other things and listening to you talk, man. You know your stuff. But yeah, welcome everybody to the chat. If you haven't already, make sure you drop that like button. We're just talking about these games tonight and what it could possibly look like. In case you missed it, I'm giving y'all my rundown and my picks for who's gonna win tonight. I got the Indiana Fever winning tonight. I got them beating the Lynx tonight. And then I have I got my Dark Horse Sparks winning. Again, that's an emotional choice. I have the New York Liberty winning. That's a strategic choice. And then the Las Vegas Aces beating the Chicago Sky. And then the Seattle Storm and Golden State Valkyrie game. I'm leaning towards Golden State Valkyrie. I'm really leaning towards Golden State Valkyrie. I don't think the Seattle Storm deserve to be in playoffs, but the position that the Sparks have put themselves in, it's a high possibility that they might still make the playoffs, and it sucks. But I don't think the Storm are a terrible team. I just think their system that they got right now is not working offensively. And it's not like due to one individual player. I think Gabby Williams has fallen short. She's trending down. She's been trending down for a very long time. And I don't even think she's going to get Defensive Player of the Year, but we'll see. But she's definitely trended down. Sometimes when she's taking the shots she's taking, I'm like, but I think it's because it's how they have her offense. She's not even like, if you look at their offense, their first option in my eyes is NECA. And then their next option is Brittany. Then it's probably Skylar. Brittany and Skylar can maybe go hand in hand depending on how mad Skylar is, how angry she is and fired up she is. But she's been kind of like, after the All-Star break, she's trended down. So, and then Erica Wheeler off the bench. It's a lot of different things that this Seattle Storm team can really lose me with. And then now I like how Tiffany Mitchell, the contribution she brings, they play their bench a solid amount, And sometimes they contribute well, sometimes they don't. It's just something's missing with them, and I'm not sure what it is. What do y'all think it is? Absolutely, Tony. We have to get together. Troy Hall asked if the Sparks own the tiebreaker with the Storm. They do. For all of you who just joined, I do want to catch you up on what could happen for the Sparks and Storm, right? Sparks do own the tiebreaker. So if they win these next two, it's like win or go home for them. If they lose tonight and the Storm lose tonight, it does not matter. The Storm are going to clinch the spot. If and they play at the same time, by the way. So that's also like, wow. Like, I see what you're doing, WNBA. I see what you're doing here, but it's like, how did they even know that could shake out like that? But anyway, and then if whether the Storm win or lose and the Sparks win, then they have to win again against the Aces on Thursday. So it's again lose or go home for the Sparks, and if they whether or not Seattle Storm, whatever they end up doing. That's what I'm saying. Like, do the Storm even have it in them to compete at a high level without like needing some type of charge, some type of energy? If I'm going to State Valkyrie, my game plan is make it very difficult for NECA. Don't let her get any pull-up shots. If anything, let her go to the three. We'll die on that. That's why I think a lot of teams play zone. I wouldn't be surprised if the Golden State Valkyrie plays zone against this Seattle Storm team because they have a decent ability to rotate well. So I would not be surprised if they play zone against them. And also, I absolutely Chicago Cheetah brought up Noelle. Bro, Natalie's a way better coach than Noelle. 100%. 1,000% better. So it's possible that it's going to come down to the players, but also the coaching systems and the coaches. Who's going to show up and be a smarter coach tonight? I got my money on Natalie for sure. Here's the thing. The Seattle Storm don't have to win tonight. It's important that they win tonight. But here's the thing. They don't hold the tiebreaker. The Sparks do. So, yeah, it's a must win. But if they don't win, it doesn't matter. Their fate is based on what the Sparks do. So it's not really a must win for them as opposed in terms of their fate. Like, they have done what they could to get themselves in the position that they're in now. But it's not a must win for the Storm. It's a must win for the Sparks. And NECA, she is the Madam President of the WNBPA. She is the one advocating, leading the charge, advocating on behalf of the women to renegotiate for the CBA. But she also can be responsible for the lockout. I do want to put that out there. It's crazy. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm rooting for the Golden State Valkyries to win tonight. This might be another emotional decision, but I really do think the Golden State Valkyries could beat the Storm tonight. But they are visiting the Storm, so let's keep that into perspective. But if the Storm were visiting the Golden State Valkyries, I feel like they definitely be cooked. Because even if that team is losing by 20, the fans are screaming loud like they're up 20. It's insane. Their crowd is nasty. It's insane. Their crowd is so good. But yeah, tonight's going to be crazy. Make sure you tune in. If not, you could just hop on my podcast, hop on here tomorrow, and you'll hear me talk about it. And you'll get all the updates. But today's been really fun. I appreciate y'all as always. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you drop a like. The chat was so lit tonight. Y'all having really good conversations. I wasn't too much into the chat, so I'm sorry if I missed some people that I normally be chopping it up with. I was really locked in today. But what's up, Driz? If you still here, looking forward to our collab soon. Tony, I cannot wait to collab with you either. Just us. I really appreciate the love, the support. Be on the lookout for more videos. I've been editing. I will be editing. Like, as soon as I get off this stream, I will start editing so I can drop these videos and try to just keep growing the channel and growing the community. And so I really appreciate you all. Thanks for the love. Thanks for talking ball. And just remember, if you know bull, you know ball. All right, y'all. Take care. Have a great night. And I'll talk to you soon.